Hello out there in video land. How you doing today? My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice, and I'm here with Peter Dichter in the studio.
Proud to be
here.
here.
To me, this is probably the most exciting day of the year.
Exciting, scary, every kind of emotion you can imagine.
It is, and it's because it's Election Day in the United States, and we've been waiting for this and watching all the shenanigans for a lot of months now, and I'm so excited for it to be happening, and I can't wait to spend all day watching what's going on. Early results are coming in already. But, Election Day, it could become one of the most important days in the history of the United States. I mean, I can't think back to any election.
The world, actually.
Of the world.
Yeah, the world's involved in this one.
And
all of us.
Yeah, and I can't think back to any day, like any election, going back to Reagan and Nixon and Kennedy and all this, that has had this much anticipation. It means this much to the world itself because of what's going on in the world today. I mean, we've got two wars going, China surrounding Taiwan, North Korea marching with Russia against the Ukraine. There's so many things going on that haven't been resolved over the past year in the case of the Middle East, Iran and Israel. In the last 2 or 3 years for Putin and the Ukraine. And then, China always shaking the saber at Taiwan and North Korea getting involved. So this is huge, and how people decide in the United States how they're going to vote is really going to mean a difference in the world, like you said, Peter.
It's the world. There's no doubt about it. 100% the world. And the next biggest election after that is the one that comes next year.
Yeah, in Canada. And
which I think if the results are the way I feel they should go, I think he'll leave before he goes to another election anyway.
Well, that could be, and we're going to get into that in a minute. But first, I got to get to my sponsors.
Yes.
Because this election does affect Canada, and we want to talk about that. Because, everybody says, oh, you like Trump. I mean, no, I don't like Trump. I
left mine in Florida. Otherwise, I'd have mine on too. Trust me.
Yeah, or else you like Harris, one or the other, But the bottom line is that it does affect Canada. We want to talk about that a little bit. Then we're going to get into the U.S. election, about what we think is going to happen and why we think it's going to happen. And it's going to be a good show, so stick around. But first, I want to mention my sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop and Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Now, we're looking out here. Yesterday, it was in the 40s or 50s. Today, now it's in the 70s, 75.
77 right now when I walked in the door.
Unbelievable.
It's amazing.
Unbelievable. November the 5th, 77 degrees out. But we know this is going to turn. So what you want to do is be proactive with your car. Get it in to see Ken Hunter at Wild Bill's. And he's going to give you a free end of summer inspection. And I know in November, it's not the end of summer, but I'll tell you one thing. If you closed your eyes and went outside and didn't know the date.
Yeah, you think.
You think, right? Yeah. So get your car in there while it's nice. So make that appointment. He's going to check your tires, your suspension, your brakes. He's going to give your car a computer scan to make sure there's no error codes that have to be dealt with. He's going to check your fluids, your lighting, and take your vehicle for a test run to make sure everything's running smooth. And all this for no charge. If there's any problems, he will fix them for you. And this is what you want to be. You want to be proactive. You don't want to break down on the side of the road on a crappy day in December, wishing you had listened to this guy right here.
Yeah, that guy right over there.
This guy over here, right? So
there's nothing worse. There is nothing worse than breaking up. Nothing.
I hate it. Especially when it's crappy. You got to stand there, wait for CA to come and get you.
And if it's snowing, it's a couple hours.
Yeah, always. The worst weather brings out all the trucks, and get one for a long time. So get in there, and if you get in a wreck, take your car to Wild Bill's. He's got a full body shop. He's going to get you in and out, and your car's going to look showroom new. wildbills.auto.ca. That's where you go to their website, or just give them a call and make an appointment. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. They are on Oakwood Drive by the Kia dealership. Give them a call today. Get that free summer inspection out of the way. You want to. Okay,
free.
Peter.
Big word, free. I love it.
Yeah, I love free. Yeah. Although we're going to be glued to the squawk box all day watching what goes on,
I know.
I want to talk about the effect on Canada. I mean, we've heard all the fear mongers say that if Trump wins, this is going to put all kinds of tariffs on Canada and kill some Canadian industries. But I don't believe that for a second. We have the USMCA, which is the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement to replace NAFTA that Trump put in last time he was there. Biden never touched it. So that's still in force. And that's basically what we go by when we trade with the United States. Now, you have to remember, we are the United States' biggest trading partner. A lot of billions and billions of goods go over that border back and forth. It's so important. And we saw the effect of it when COVID hit and people, the truckers weren't able to get back and forth because they weren't vaccinated or some other hoax that they pulled on them. But at the end of the day, that trade is so important to both countries. So Trump, having said that, doesn't really monkey with that agreement. They made that agreement, they stick to it. If you don't like it as a Canadian, well, you got to look at your leaders and say, why didn't they negotiate a better deal for Canada? They had the option to do it.
They don't know how.
They can't. No, they don't have. If you don't have a good negotiator, then that's your fault because you voted this guy in.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is the United States on all trade deals, and let's go into NATO too, always picks up the slack, right? Always. They always have. They always will. Trump is right. It's time the United. And listen, I'm a raw Canadian. Well, up until the last 9 years. We don't survive without the United States of America, and they have to protect themselves. They have to. I mean, you look at what's happening to them right now. They open themselves up so much. They're so vulnerable. And then you put the quack squad in, and look what happened to that country in less than 4 years. Shredded. Dangerous. They go down, we go down. We're tied in like this. It's a knot. That knot breaks, we're done. And there's so many people that I've heard, there's a lot of people who love America, but there's so many Canadians that either call them stupid or they'll say that I hate them. I hate America. They think they own the world. And I was having an argument with a guy. And he started about Trump and about Canada and how he hated the United States. And he went on and on. And he didn't realize I had the Trump card in my back pocket. He just kept talking and yapping. I said, we don't survive without the States. I don't believe that. We have our own resources. We do this. Yeah, we sold them all off to China and everybody else, and we don't use our own. So that question is gone. That statement is gone. But he just kept going on and on. I said, all the companies in this country, 90% of them, aren't they American? Here comes the Trump card. I said, so you believe wholeheartedly? Absolutely. I'm Canadian, and I don't believe in the United States of America. As a matter of fact, I hate them. I said, why do you work at Lowe's? And he looked at me and said, what do you mean? I said, why do you work at Lowe's? You're this staunch, proud Canadian, but you don't want to work. You're working at Lowe's. It's an American company. And he went, beep. That's all, folks.
Well, I even get that argument, like when people talk about Tim Hortons, a great Canadian company. Well, they haven't been Canadian since the early 90s when Dave Thomas of Wendy's bought them.
Yeah, and they went like this.
Yeah, and then some other big consortium from Brazil or somebody owns them now. They're not Canadian. They haven't been for 40 years.
We're lucky Tim's name's still on there, and they still have a picture of him every now and then in one, every other one.
Yeah, and that's because they want to keep that Canadian, people thinking it's Canadian, because that's the big thing in Canada. If they go to the States, they get crushed by Dunkin' Donuts and everybody else. But at the end of the day, I don't know what Canadians expect from Trump. Like, tell me, what does MAGA stand for?
Make America Great Again.
Yeah.
Best statement you could ever make.
And it doesn't stand for make Canada great again or make Brazil great again, or Venezuela, or NATO great again. No, it stands for Make America Great Again. He's working for the Americans, so he's going to protect them. And that's what we need in Canada, somebody who's working for Canadians and going to protect Canadians. They're not going to allow open borders and that kind of thing. Like, I don't see Trump as a bad thing getting in for Canada. I see that things are going to come down in price because what happens in the States happens in Canada. The dog wags the tail doesn't wag the dog. And interest rates will come down and gas prices will come down. They'll open up the Keystone Pipeline, which is good for Canada.
It's amazing.
So, I don't see it. Now, if Harris gets in, we've seen what the last 4 years have brought to Canada. And what has it brought? Higher interest rates, inflation, over the top inflation, unfettered borders. I mean, go down the Falls area and see the 5,000 immigrants that came over from Roxham Road and other places that have been let in. These open door policies and that don't work. And we're finding out that there's a housing shortage and that you can't get in the hospital and you can't get in the clinics. Well, when you add 2 or 3 or 4 million people to the population, this is what happens. You cannot have open borders. It's got to be controlled. And we're finding that out, and people are finding that out. With Trump getting in there and him changing that dynamic, maybe Canadians will wake up and change our government and get somebody who kind of gets along with Trump and understands what Trump's trying to do and does the same thing for Canada. So Trump getting in might not be a bad thing, Peter.
I think him and Polyev would get along. Every time Trudeau and the Liberals, mock Polyev, saying he's a Trumper and it's all about, I'm going, yeah, common sense. Common sense. CS is gone. Like, it's gone. I don't know where it went. I don't know how they shut it down. But take Trump's name off of it, okay?
Right.
Was it better when he was in office, whoever he was, or is it better now with them that are in the office right now? And there is no question. I mean, if you are blind, stupid, and dumb, if you can't see the difference. Canada, look at our economy. Look what's happened to us because of 4 years of what they've had over there. Because we're totally interactive. We're engaged with each other, okay? There's no way around it. You can't deny it. It is what it is, and it's a fact. So what happens over there will happen over here. And a lot of times I think we were actually the testing ground for a lot of these, the way they've been running the countries. I think we were the testing ground. Hey, let's see what we can get away with in Canada, and then we're going to try and implement it in the States.
And you have to think that when we look at the United States and Canada, that we will follow along with them. And to have a strong leader there, regardless of whether we get rid of Trudeau or not, I think it's good because it's going to bring benefits to all Canadians. Whereas if we see the same thing that Biden put in there, we've seen what happens. And I don't think there has been an election where the choice is more clear. Like, and I don't mean whatever you choose. You vote for whoever you want. But I mean the two different sides of the equation where there's such a difference. One believes in open borders. One believes in closed borders. One believes in a great economy and keeping everything at home. One doesn't believe in that. One believes in fracking. One doesn't believe in fracking. One believes in a criminal justice system. One doesn't believe in a criminal justice system.
One believes tampons should be in boys' washrooms.
And one doesn't.
Yeah.
And it goes right down the line. You can go to every point and you can say, there's a huge difference. And the good thing is we've had time, and all Americans have had time to compare the two systems, the two platforms. We've seen Trump for 4 years with his, and we've seen Kamala with hers for 4 years. And at the end of the day, you look and you say, who did better? And if you think it was Biden and Harris, then go ahead, vote for them. But if you think it was Trump, you can't say you don't like the guy, because big business guys don't care if they like people or not. They care about what's going to be better for them. And they know that Trump is, and a lot of people know that Trump is.
Exception, Mark Cuban.
Well, Mark Cuban, he's I don't know what he's up to, because he had to backpedal from his statement, and all these other celebrities who, it doesn't matter whether gas prices are $10 or $1,000 a gallon. They're billionaires. What do they care?
They couldn't care less, and they write it off anyways.
Yeah, but when you see billionaires supporting Trump, you've got to say, well, what do they care? Well, they do care. That's why they're supporting Trump. When you see the biggest genius in the world, Elon Musk, and supporting Trump, and Joe Rogan just came out last night and said he's supporting Trump. That's huge.
That's massive.
That's huge.
And it's not. You didn't have to pay him. You didn't have to pay him to come on the show and say, "Hey, I'm a dad." And
nothing. And I think that this is why the choice is so clear that I believe that Trump's going to win this. And I don't think he's just going to win it. I think it's going to be a decisive win, like a landslide. I don't think it's going to be, that close. There's just too many signs that they're ready for a change in the States from Biden and Harris. They know what was going on, and even Democrats are flipping over. Tulsi Gabbard, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Elon Musk, who is...
and again, really not for money. Principle.
Yes.
Principle and morals. That's why they hopped across.
Yeah, and you look at Trump's cabinet that he's going to have. He's going to have some of the most brilliant minds in the United States.
It's going to be phenomenal.
Vivek Ramaswamy, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on the health department, and these other, Tulsi Gabbard,
I love
Marine,
her.
and she's phenomenal.
See, people say, "Oh, you only want a male in his president." I would take her as president.
No, she's one of the weak, stupid women that surround Trump.
Exactly. Dumb, stupid. Just ask Mark, and he knows. He's a great guy, very intelligent, genius.
And see, this is where the problem comes in, right? And we'll talk about all the gaffes that have been made on the Kamala side. If you like Kamala Harris because you think she's going to do better, she's been hurt by all these gaffes. Hurt real bad when it comes down to voting and that, because people see this and hear this, and Trump is you gotta, no matter what anybody says, he's the master marketer. So what happens? He gets shot in the air. Fight, fight, fight. That picture right there is Iwo Jima.
Yeah.
It's iconic. It's going to go down in American history.
You can only say that man. There's only one conclusion from that. And I don't care who you are. That man is a patriot, and he is focused. He wants his country back. He doesn't have to do this. He got shot, and he still had country in mind. He still had people in mind. It's always, well, he's selfish. He's a misogynist. He's a racist. Did you see any of that in his face when he got shot?
Nope.
All you saw was strength, honor, and a conviction to bring his country back. And folks in Canada understand this clearly. The United States goes down, we go down. We've already got terrorist threats. We've already got terrorist threats coming across at us now from Iran, just in the last couple of days. Who's going to protect us? A few tugboats out in Nova Scotia, maybe one destroyer we bought a couple of years ago out in B. Come on, folks. We don't protect our borders. We really don't, obviously.
And we can't.
Yeah.
But, you get over to Harris and you try to find some reasons that she should be president. And I really can't pick out any highlight, any big moment she's had over this course of this election.
I got one. Joy, but she let it go. I was all about the joy.
Well, I mean, this is great to have joy and everything, but at the end of the day, when you go to meet with Putin and Zelensky, it's not joy. There's no joy there. There's no joy in the Middle East or with China, Xi and Kim Jong-un. These aren't joy people. They're people that want to cause havoc, and
they see the door open. They see the door open. They see the door wide open.
They do.
Anything you ask her about policy, anything, because everything that they did over those 4 years failed. All of it failed. And when you ask the question, well, Trump in the last 10 years, Trump what? In 4 years that he was in power, did great things, but that's everything Trump. Well, that's because Trump. Well, we don't get along with Trump. Everything's Trump. How about you tell us how to solve the problem of Trump then?
Well, the thing is that we talk about Trump, but she talked about Trump more than us. Her whole rallies were about Trump. Trump this, Donald J. Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, 23 times in her speech. I mean, when you have nothing else to say, what do you say?
Trump.
Racist. Yeah, racist, bigot, and
misogynist, anything bad, communist,
and Trump,
Nazi, Trump.
But I really did try to pick out something that Harris has done. She was the border bazaar
disaster.
The border bazaar, border czar,
bizarro.
And that never worked out. She ruined California, and as a matter of fact, on the ballot there's Proposition 36, which wants to overturn Proposition 47 when she was there. That said criminals could steal up to $950 and not get put in jail for it. Now they want to overturn that. It's on the ballot. She was asked, does she support Proposition 36? And she wouldn't give an answer now.
Because she didn't want to affect the election.
Yeah. But the bottom line is, that means you're for crime. If you say, no, I do support that. We've got to get crime out. That's what she's been saying. But then Proposition 36 comes up, and she wouldn't give an answer. See, I'm trying to find places where she's really done a good job in this whole campaign against Trump. And I just can't pick out any, and I wish somebody could tell me. I just really can't. But I could pick out many times when Trump, him in McDonald's, iconic moment. I mean, Norman Rockwell waving out of the window of McDonald's with an apron.
And he was loving it. That wasn't fake. He was loving it. He's so interested in people and what they do, even down to the intricacies of making a French fry at McDonald's. He loves it. He loves every aspect of building and economy and people being able to live that dream. There has been no dream. Kamala and Biden stole your dreams. They stole our dreams too. And they put us in a bad situation economically. And when we have a bad economy, you've got a bad life.
So what happened, Peter, to Build Back Better? That was Joe Biden's theme when he ran, Build Back Better.
Well, I think what you have to understand, and Trudeau was using that for a while too. Remember, he was using Build Back Better and the Great Reset. Build Back Better,
We're
just
not
like
better.
when they say he's threatening clearly saying it, and when they say it's our democracy, it's their idea of democracy, right? Building Back Better is for them. They're talking about themselves, not about us, because they've built back nothing but big bank accounts through all kinds of laundering and moving money around and exchanging wealth to the rich. They did it all. You didn't see it right under your nose. They were building back better for them, for their democracy.
So they kept their promise. They did build back better,
Yeah.
not for the American people.
They just didn't elaborate, but yeah.
but for themselves.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Because it makes total sense to me. Every time I hear them say it, listen to how they say it. They'll go, our democracy. Not our democracy. Our democracy, the one we own.
Yeah, and they did build back better because the Bidens made a lot of money, and the Obamas made a lot of money, and the Clintons made a boatload of money.
Pelosi, she got a ton.
Yeah, Belushi. Nancy Belushi. Well, she is kind of a joke.
How can you even talk to her about anything about what's going on in this world? She is delirious. She's done. She's finished. And she actually stood up the other day and said, we're in a serious situation. It's very dangerous because Donald Trump is losing his mind.
Yeah, and she's wackier than a bat.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to what she has to say.
It's just crazy. But when I look at that Build Back Better 4 years ago, well, that was this campaign thing. We're going to build back better. And then I look to 4 years later the here and now, and I'm going, really, what's better in the United States? They went from having low inflation, a good economy, no wars, closed borders, everything under control, to what we have now.
Lower taxes. So, what you didn't see, this is how it goes. You got to listen because he was build back better.
Build back better.
That's why he was whispering. When he was whispering, it was for us.
Oh, Sky, it's for us. Now let me suck your baby's toes.
Oh gosh, that disgusts me. Wow. I just had a grandson. He's just turned 5 months. Actually, coming up this week. That's disgusting. That is. Is that something from Uncle Bozy? Is that's genetically been handed down?
Well, cannibalism, I guess. Oh my God. Uncle Bozy got eaten by cannibals. But
how do they know that, though? I mean, how do they know Uncle Bozy? Did he call in as he was being boiled, or was he the cannibal?
Maybe he is, because Joe sure likes those feet.
Oh,
he was sucking on those feet like they were a chicken leg.
He couldn't get enough in his mouth.
I mean, Peter, listen, you just had a grandson, right?
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine me coming over to your house to see your grandson as a friend and starting to suck on that kid's toes?
Right up to the ankle.
Would you punch me in the head or what?
Knock you out and say, you know what? I think it's time for you to go, and maybe you shouldn't come back ever.
Yeah, you're a good friend, but you're not sucking on my grandchild's toes.
It's disgusting. And the parent that sat there, I would have been like, I mean, are you kidding me? I would have pulled it right out of his mouth and said, you're disgusting.
Yeah, and this isn't the first time he's
sniffing hair and trying to sneak a little cop, little girls' chests.
Like, and this is the kind of thing, we're going to get into all of them, but this is the kind of thing that we see from these guys that really get press, and then it just ruins all of them. I know he's old and senile, so you can only pass that
attack,
off.
according to Michael Douglas and all the people in Hollywood. Sharp as a tack.
Well, 3 months ago, Kamala said, sharp as a tack. He knows everything. He's in on everything. He makes all the decisions.
You can't believe what he does.
And then 2 weeks later, they did the coup d'etat on him, threw him out, and said he's an old senile man. And even the FBI said he's an old senile man. We can't charge him for classified documents.
Well, did you see The View, Joyce Behar? Did you see what she said when this thing came in about garbage and stuff like that? And of course, the guy said that supporters of MAGA and Trump are garbage. Plain and simple. No comma, no colon, no semicolon, nothing. Okay, no exclamation mark. Is exactly what he said. And you know what she said? She goes, "Oh, now they don't understand. They're talking about all his gaffes and stuff, but now." They're taking it as what you've been promoting it all along. That the guy's been sharp as a tack, and everything he says is what he means. But to actually, I mean, you want to have your stupidity tested. It's exactly what he said. I watched a news guy on CNN the other day actually sit there and tell somebody who was on the phone saying, "You do not know what you heard. You're lying." And it's like, no, plain and simple. I didn't hear the apostrophe. I didn't hear any of these, grammar that was supposed to be. I heard clearly. They're garbage. Supporters of Trump are garbage. Plain and simple. Maybe the comma was understood and I didn't catch it.
And you have to look and say, why did they try to get the White House secretaries to change the transcript, which is illegal, by the way? Why did they want them to change it?
Yeah.
And they wouldn't change it. They said, no, that's against the law. We can't change it. And they wanted to change because he said it. That's why.
Well, so Trump supporters are garbage. Now let's do it with the comma. Trump supporters are garbage.
Same thing.
I mean, really?
I mean, like it's just...
You're garbage if you're trying to tell me what he said and he missed a comma while he was talking.
Yeah, and it's just
Period.
It's just one thing after the other, though, for the Harris campaign here. Like, she starts with calling Trump a fascist and a Nazi. I mean, come on. These people, they use these words liberally, but at the end of the day, like, it's comparing him to Hitler. And then wacky Tim Walz, Tampon Tim, saying that the rally at Madison Square Garden was like a rally in 1939 for the Nazis. This is ridiculous. Like, these people shouldn't be saying this stuff because it makes them look really, really wacky.
Well, they got nothing else to talk about.
Yeah, when Trump said they were eating the dogs and cats, right? That sounded really, really wacky. It's like Uncle Bozy getting eaten by cannibals. Whether it was true or not, I don't know, because I've said yes, it was. But he shouldn't have. These are things that you have to watch what you say but this is a constant thing with Kamala and her campaign and the people surrounding her. I mean, everybody looks back and says, well, Clinton called all of Trump's followers deplorable when she ran. And nobody forgets that we're a bunch of deplorables and now we're garbage.
Oh, well, Whoopi Goldberg just said,
She's another one.
She called them deplorables, but listen to what Trump said over the last few weeks. Trump's always called it the way he sees it.
Well, see, they can't compare Kamala or Biden or anybody to Trump. Trump is not a politician. He's been saying this for years. He said it about Rosie O'Donnell and everything else. This is the way he is. He says what he thinks. Maybe no filter. Maybe she should be more aware of it.
But at least you know what you're getting.
You know what you're getting. That's why Trump can put on a McDonald's vest and go cook some fries and go to the takeout window. Trump can wear the garbage vest in a garbage truck. Remember when Michael Dukakis put on the helmet and got in the tank?
Yep.
And rolled down in Massachusetts? That was the end of his career.
Yep.
Trump gets away with stuff that other people can, and they've got to realize what they're dealing with. And after him running for 2016, 2020, 2024, now we're talking 8 years, and 2015 before he got in, when he came down that elevator, they should know that he can get away with stuff other people can't. And they shouldn't play to that. They call us garbage. He puts on a vest like this, and he gets in a garbage truck. And he doesn't look stupid. He looks like a true patriotic American.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Garbage man, still patriot, still going.
And that's another part of their campaign that they fail in, right? They're not going to win like this. They've got to come out. Kamala's got to come out and tell everybody what she's going to do. She can't just say, I'm going to fix the economy. She's got to say how she's going to fix it.
But she did. It's an opportunity economy. Isn't it? Aren't all economies an opportunity?
Sure, and we had 1 million people coming to see the eclipse.
Oh, yeah. That was a biggie. That was definitely an economical opportunity to lose.
Opportunity economics.
After you scared everybody away saying, hey, it's going to be so packed there, I don't know if you want to come here, right? And they took it to heart.
And anything that she talks about, all of a sudden she's going to close the border. Well, she never did in 4 years. So how's she going to do it? And she's going to be tough on crime. Well, she hasn't been in 4 years because it's worse in the United States than ever.
And here's the big thing the Dems have. It's abortion. Okay, so you're going to go with a border that's allowed in. Trust me when I tell you, 20 million plus. 20 million plus. The worst criminals in the world have been dumped into the United States of America. We're going to talk about abortion as being the number one topic between the Democrats and the Republicans. First of all, Trump never said that he was going to stop abortion. Let's get that straight. He handed it off to the states. It's their problem. They can do with it what they want. You can fight them. Never said it. Okay. It's unbelievable that you can leave a border wide open, fentanyl, people dying, 300,000 children missing. Does that not disgust you as a human being?
Terrorists.
Or you're not a human. Terrorists. Terrorists that have been sent by a country that admits they've come to take out Trump. And I don't care what you think of Trump. Nobody walks into your country to take out any politician. Not in the U.S., not in Canada.
And when you mentioned this Trent the Agua, that's come in and taken over apartment buildings in towns and stuff like that. Somebody said to J.D. Vance, well, it's only like 4 or 5. It's not like they've taken over. And he said, did you hear what you just said? In the United States of America, a gang from Venezuela is coming in and taking over apartment buildings, and you think it's all right because it's only 4 or 5 so far. Like, did you hear what you're telling me?
When right is wrong, and wrong is right.
Yeah, it should be none. This is the United States of America. Foreign gangs don't come in here and take over apartment buildings. Even one is wrong.
National Guard in, take them out, get the cop. I don't care what it takes. They have no right. And we're talking about senior citizens that have been moved out of, who are living on a fixed income or barely making it, being shoved out of their apartments.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, so all this is adding up, and it's slowly adding up. Obama, he called us religious zealots with guns.
Obama, yeah, Christians.
Yeah.
How do you go out as a politician and condemn one of the largest groups and organizations in the country? How? Who 40,000 or 40 million didn't vote in the last election? It's 40,000 or 40 million. I can't remember the number. Anyways, you know 40,000, and you're going to sit there and cut these people off. No different than all these stupid, dumb entertainers who are distancing themselves from half of their audience or more.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's stupidity. And who gives you the right to think you have the power to push an election one way or the other? You don't.
And I gotta believe that Beyonce, and Robert De Niro, and Bruce Springsteen, and
you mean the boss?
Taylor Swift.
Who's now the loss?
I gotta believe they're smarter, and they know, even though they're not going to be affected, that they know that Trump's the better candidate. Yet they're shilling for Harris. Like, why would they do that, Peter? I don't get it.
Do you want me to put logic into it?
Yeah, but before you do that, I'm going to get to my second sponsor.
Go ahead.
Because you're going to tell us why. I know you are.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I think, and it's
okay.
logic. I'm a logical guy, right?
Okay, so my second sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Now, if you like pizza like I do, you're a snob. And there's only certain pizzas you're going to eat.
Are you calling me a snob?
Well, if you like pizza like I do, you're a snob. You're a pizza snob.
Right, I'll tell you. I'll take it.
And you only want to have a pizza that's good, that you like, right? And definitely your wife has to like it, because if she don't, you're going to hear about it. So I got a call from Mike at Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue asking to sponsor the show. And I said, well, Mike, I have no problem with that, but I have to like your pizza or you can't do it. I can't sit here and talk good about a pizza I don't like.
I'm with you.
So I went and got a pizza top secret. I dressed as Liz and went in there. And
high heels and everything.
and got a pizza, and it was fantastic. I really liked it. And so I said, yes, Mike, you're in. Now Mike knows what he's doing. He worked in an Italian restaurant for 15 years, and he goes into Pete's Pizza, gets the franchise, and he uses the old recipes from the Mancini family. Mm-hmm. And they've been passed down through 40 years of owning Pete's Pizza in St. Catharines and franchising out in the region. And the sauce is excellent. He takes the cheese and he mixes the Saputo mozzarella with brick cheese, the way you should mix cheese to have that nice stretch and everything else.
Why
on
are
it.
You making me hungry?
Oh, I know. Every time I talk about it, my stomach starts growling. But
drooling too. Go like this in your beer.
And he even throws some cornmeal on the bottom of my pizza dough, which I really love. The dough's great. The sauce is great. The cheese sauce ratio is bang on. And it's just a really, really good pizza. He cooks it just right. He knows what he's doing. And the Mancini family knew what they were doing when they created their sauce and dough, believe me. So I go there, and they also have panzerotti, poutine. They have a whole menu, like 3 pages of menu items you could choose from, wings, you name it. They have everything there. So I said, this is fantastic. Now, this is even more fantastic. Mike has said that till the end of the year to celebrate the 40th anniversary, they have a special: 2 medium pizzas, 3 toppings on each for $25.
Wow.
Heck of a deal.
That
Not
is
a bad
great
deal.
Yeah.
So if you need a pizza, get down to Victoria Avenue, Pete's Pizza, and you're going to be happy you did. Tell him Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. And you know what? He even extended the hours for you. He's open till 11 p.m., Sunday to Thursday, and it's hard to find anything open that late. And to 2 in the morning on Friday and Saturday. So if you get those late night munchies from whatever you're doing, there's a place you can call up. And all you have to do is dial 905-374-2222 or go to petespizza.victoria.ca, and away you go. You got a great pizza. Tell him Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you, and he'll be happy. I'll be happy. And I thank you for supporting our sponsors and the show.
Well, guess
Okay,
what? He's
Peter.
sponsoring part of the big show.
Well, I know this is great news.
Yeah.
We should talk about that just for a second.
Yeah.
Ray Lyle, who I don't know if you know Ray Lyle, but he was a rock star in the 90s, and he's come up with a couple of great songs, a remake of one of his songs. And he is on a mission, a crusade to lose weight.
Yes.
So Peter Dichter, well, you tell him. Why am I talking?
All right. So we have a show together called The Big Show, and we're on radio. We'll be back on radio on 3 or 4 stations to start. And then we also are on YouTube and Rumble. That's starting next week. So today, actually, we're shooting some of the stuff today.
Awesome.
But we call it the Big Challenge. Ray's big 4-month challenge to lose 40 pounds in 4 months. Now, we're halfway through as of next Monday on Remembrance Day. We'll be halfway through. And at the end of each month, Ray's not allowed to see his weight for the whole month. And we weigh him in. We see him halfway through the month and at the end of the month, right? He's been doing amazing. You will be amazed when you watch these videos. At the beginning of the month, we shoot a full half-hour show, so you can see all the things he's doing. And my son is his personal trainer at Fitness Zone, and he's the one that's taking him through the nutrition and all the things he has to do. During the month, he's in the gym at least 3 times a week. We record snippets of that, so you'll see what he's doing. You will watch his face. I mean, honestly, he looks like a white Shrek when he starts this thing, okay? And he's starting to transform. But, so last month we had a burger for Ray. This coming week, it's kind of a pizza.
A pizza.
A good pizza.
Cheat day.
Yeah. Cheat day for him. So he doesn't know it. Hopefully he's not listening to the station.
I hope he is.
Yeah.
But I hope he's not for your sake.
Yeah. So,
but a big surprise.
Thank you, Mike, for that.
And Mike from Victoria Avenue Pete's Pizza is going to sponsor this cheat day with a great pizza for Ray. And I know he's going to enjoy it. And thank you to Mike for that. And, congratulations to Ray. If you don't know Ray Lyle, you're missing out, man. He's a great guy.
He is starting to look like the old Ray. I kid you not. It's amazing. And we've now lost a chin and a half here. I'm not exaggerating.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I just cover mine.
Yeah,
smart guy. Cover mine, right? But that's good for him. And, we had Ray in the studio, and we had the best time. He's just a great guy. We laughed our heads off. Had a lot of fun, and
actually, him and I were talking about that the other day. Literally about you. You did some research. Yeah, he's swimming with the turtles in the archipelago.
Oh man,
AI.
That was a
work.
fun show.
Yeah, it was. It was great.
That was a fun show. Good memories with Ray. So hey, if you see Ray, congratulate him and support him. On this quest to lose 40 pounds.
Yeah, go to the YouTube, The Big Show with Pete and Ray. It's P-E-E-T.
Pete, P-E-E-T.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yep, and good that Mike's supporting you from Victoria Avenue Pete's Pizza. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So back to this now. Why are these celebrities who should know better, and they seem to be intelligent people, why would they be supporting somebody who has no platform, is proven herself to be incompetent, and really adds nothing, and has had a dismal 4 years as vice president, hasn't accomplished anything, left the border open? Why would they be supporting Harris? I don't get it.
Can we go through the list just of somebody so that listen, I now boycott. And there's people in here I love as actors and singers. As a matter of fact, John Legend, I was listening to...
Yeah, Johnny Legend's one of them.
Yeah, I was listening to Christmas music this morning on a radio station, and here's John Legend. Click, off it went. I won't support
Well, John Legend, Taylor Swift, Beyonce.
Bruce Springsteen. The Boss is now The Loss. Right? Will Ferrell. Come on, I can't watch Elf again. I love that. I will never watch that.
What's up with Will Ferrell?
I I don't know. I'm shocked at what these people are doing. You know, De Niro. I mean, he's nuts. I love him as an actor. I won't watch his movies now. I'm flipping through Netflix and one of his movies comes on that I love, and no, I can't do it. Right? Oprah.
Oprah, like she's smart. And she's supposed to. She's a billionaire.
Yeah, I think we're going to get into some of the reasons. Right? Michael Douglas.
Another one.
Sharp as a tack. Sharp as a tack.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Biden's sharpest attack.
How about Schwarzenegger?
Well,
I mean, you know, but crazy DiCaprio, right? There's another one who's surprising.
I can see Schwarzenegger though.
Yeah, I can,
because he was banging his nanny, and so was Harris's husband.
So they got something in common.
So they have something in common.
It makes sense.
Yeah, they have something to talk about when they get together.
Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
Barbara Streisand. What are you doing? Like, you're Babs. You sing great Christmas songs. You got an incredible voice. Why are you getting involved? Right? Ben Stiller. What do they have on you, buddy? What do they have on you? He's part Jewish, isn't he? I mean,
he is Jewish.
Yeah. I will not support these people. And you shouldn't either, because first of all, whichever side you're going on, they have no right to try and sway vote. And now all of a sudden we're getting inundated with these people. Here's my theory, because I don't understand why those people are willing to get rid of half of their audience or more. Does that make any sense to you?
No, I don't get it.
You should shut up, do your thing, and understand that with Johnny Carson said it, right? With big fame, there's big responsibility. And he was talking about this exact same thing, saying, I have no right to sway because I have power that's been given to me that I don't have the right to use. And he's 100% correct. Diddy's in jail.
Diddy's in jail.
Let's look at Diddy. Who did he hang with?
Oprah.
Pretty much everybody on that list.
Everybody on that list, really. I mean, you know,
but
the freakouts.
Obviously, he's been involved in nasty stuff. There's no doubt about that. But it goes to the top. He's been allowed to do what he does because the tops allowed him to. Well, what's the top? Well, he hung with Obama, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he's one of the buds. He's in the clique. Oprah's friends with everybody, right? He goes to jail. What does that say to people who have been compromised? He's going to squeal like a pig to save his life?
He could start talking, yeah.
Okay, so now all of a sudden these people start squawking, right? And you could see Beyonce did not want to say what she had to say. You could see it in her face, and people were expecting her to sing. Supposedly she got paid $10 million. I don't know if that's true or not. To talk about being a mom.
Yeah, people didn't want to hear her talk about being a mom. They wanted to hear her sing.
Yeah, and people were leaving after that.
Leaving and booing. So
now you're afraid, and the word might have been something like this. Hey, look, we're going to keep Diddy quiet. And as long as you stay on the right side, you're good. Diddy probably will never do any time.
But if I don't get elected, and Trump does,
then we're all going down.
The ship's
we're talking
down.
The Titanic times 1,000.
That's a pretty good theory, and we saw it with Epstein. I mean, you know, he committed suicide.
Oh yeah, sure he did. Listen, Epstein wasn't an island. I mean, the United States of America has everything charted in the whole wide world. They watch everything. You got to understand there had to be some kind of op from the CIA controlling people, controlling governments. Bill Clinton went there 27 times. I know, just to do business, and the breakfasts were great. You know, I get it. I understand. He wasn't doing anything wrong. I think Oprah was out there, wasn't she?
Yeah, there's a list a mile long that were there. I mean,
but he's conveniently passed away, hung himself, couldn't live with himself anymore, and took his life after all the cameras
were blanked out.
Yeah, blanked out.
And he took the security guard away, and yeah,
another one was sleeping.
Just happened then.
All just perfect timing. Perfect timing. So that's one of my theories, because there's no logical sense for what's happening right now with these people. The Rock, maybe The Rock has something on them because he backed out this year saying, I made a mistake. Well, I haven't watched any of The Rock stuff either. You don't support the people that are trying to manipulate your mind, whether it's a side you agree with or a side you don't agree with. They don't and shouldn't have the right to have that kind of power in your mind.
And you find it bizarre. So, I don't know if that's true, but did he having something on all of them?
I'm speculating.
They're being forced.
It's all speculation, but I mean,
but there's something going on.
Yeah.
I don't get how they can sit there and logically, with common sense and being truthful, say that Kamala deserves to be president of the United States. I mean,
Because
either
she's a woman and she's black.
that's how she got to be vice president.
Yeah.
But you've got to look at them and say,
No, then she was a woman and she was Indian.
yeah, she was. But do they hate Trump to the point where they're willing to vote for a bowling ball rather than Trump?
That's cracked.
You know, like you gotta say, are they that mentally disturbed by Trump? Can they not understand it's about America, not just about their feelings about one person who they really loved before he became president? I mean, Oprah and him were best friends. How many times was he on Oprah? And he had The Apprentice. They're all on Apprentice.
And she said to him one day, "You should be president."
Yeah.
And didn't he say, "We could probably work together. You could be my vice president."
Yeah, and what happened as soon as he said he was being president, they all went after him.
And again, it's got to tie into Hollywood, the power plays, the control, the CIA, who we all know have manipulated movies and stuff for propaganda reasons, for other reasons. They had psyops they were doing. That's been proven. That's a fact. Okay, it's something stinks and all that, but somewhere in my mind, it all ties together.
It makes sense, and we've seen these kind of ties before, and people being pressured into doing things they don't want to do.
I can tell you that some of them, you look at them and they look hesitant. Now, the boss, I mean, the loss, he looked like he was stoned out of his brains when he was sitting in that diner, like he was out of it. And singing the other night,
He sounded terrible.
who was that?
I don't even know the song he was singing.
Was that a Lost impersonator? It was
It
terrible.
was terrible. And this isn't out of the ordinary. We've seen Weinstein and all these other guys,
Another friend of Oprah's.
another friend of Oprah's, who coerced these young stars.
Oh, by the way,
And-
the Obama's daughter worked for him as well.
Yes, that's right. And and she changed her name, by the way, the oldest daughter. 'Cause
Yes.
She didn't want people to know she's an Obama.
I
But
think she is.
we've seen these young stars coerced into doing things they shouldn't be doing, and these freakouts at P. Diddy's place, because that's how you get ahead. Everybody's heard of the casting coach. It's gone back to the early age of movies, and
Yeah.
there was a whole movie about a really good movie. I can't remember the name right off the bat, but about that, about Rock Hudson and him being gay, and they have to portray him as straight, and he had the boyfriends, and they're trying to hide it, and there was a place. A whole thing about it. So we know that's true. That happened.
Listen, I interviewed a very famous actor, and I will not say his name because this was off air that I talked to him about, and we had some very in-depth conversation. He was a young actor when he started, and some of the biggest name directors that you would know were involved in stuff you would never believe. And I wish that I could tell you, but I can't. It's disgusting. What goes on in Hollywood? Hollywood is a dirty place. I always love to go to Hollywood because it's my kind of business. I love how they put movies and stuff together, and I appreciate good acting and stuff. But there's an agenda behind all of that, and it's human nature to take power, abuse power, corrupt people. Sexually abuse is the biggest thing that happens when there's power around. Let's look at Clinton and the cigars and Monica. I mean, come on.
Exactly. And it's no different with Diddy and his freakouts, his parties, and
Did
that.
he do?
I mean, with Usher.
And they were saying now that they think there's speculation that the baby oil, that there was actually date rape drugs in that oil.
Nothing would surprise me at those parties. And this is Satan.
100%.
Satanic. I mean, and everybody knows that Hollywood is satanic.
Yeah.
And it's pretty wild.
Bohemian Grove, all of it. It's all tied in together.
But that does explain why these guys are up there talking, because they're being forced to.
Well, if you take one of their main men out and put him in jail, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, logically, you take one of the big guys out, the guy who's really probably controlling, doing all the dirty work, you take him out and put him in jail. It's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, we better toe the line, and we're going next.
But what you don't understand, Trump gets in. He said he drained the swamp. He got that swamp so agitated in his first 4 years that they lost their minds. And they've absolutely, totally lost their mind. The gaffes and things that they say, even Kamala, the things that come out of their mouth, okay? How about Tampon Tim? He's hanging with what, school shooters?
Yeah, I enjoy hanging around school shooters. But, they're being exposed. And, there's an old saying, if you remember, it says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And Trump was fooled the first time he had 4 years.
He had too
But
many
he's
rhinos
not gonna-
surrounding him. He had
He's-
rhinos.
Yeah, he's not going to be fooled the second time. He
Mm-mm.
knows, and that's why he's got his own cabinet picked of power people like Vivek Ramaswamy, the sharpest minds in the United States, and the billionaires in the United States.
And they're
who
going to
know
keep
what
him in
they're doing.
check. Tulsi's going to keep him in check.
That's
Okay?
right.
You
That's
know
right.
she is, because she's a no BS person. She's still military. She understands the military industrial complex really, really well. There's going to be nothing. JFK Jr., I love him. Okay.
Yes.
He is going to do great things in health, and he's going to protect people, because we haven't been protected for a long time. Our children haven't been protected. That scamdemic proved it all.
Yeah, so this time around, he's not going to get fooled. He's got people willing to step in and check this out and work with him, not against him, like it was the first 4 years. And like I say, the left, the Democrats, just kept out of this campaign, destroying themselves. They kept killing themselves. Biden, garbage, wants to smack all the Republicans on the ass.
Yeah, on the ass. Of course, it's on the ass, right?
Yeah.
Nowhere else.
Sucking people's babies' feet. How about with the guy the guy pleasuring himself?
Oh, that, you know what? That is a disgusting commercial that just tells you where the Democrats have gone and where they're afraid not to go to win. They want power. It's quite obvious. The guy is masturbating in bed, and a Republican.
I can't believe it.
I mean, that is absolutely disgraceful, disgusting, and not forgivable in any
Yeah,
way.
no. I mean, these people are sick. They're not only looking for big power, they're sick people. What does this ad bring to anything?
A pure 100% lie.
I mean, you know, like that's
Create
just
more
crazy.
fear. Oh my God, I was doing that last night. I'm going to be able to do it tomorrow. Is the Republican masturbation police going to be beside me? Come on.
Just ridiculous.
You know what I thought was great? And actually, it caught me to see Megyn Kelly at the Trump rally, and for what she said and the hug, and you could tell it got to him. You could see his heart melt a little bit, and it got to him. And you know what? There's a lady who did her research, admitted she was wrong, still doesn't agree with everything he does, which you can't agree with everything that anybody does, even your best friend, okay? And she was big enough to do the research, follow her heart and her mind, and came up with the right conclusion. This guy is not going to take democracy away. He is not a Nazi. The country was better. My children were safer and better. The country was safer and better. The economy was flying. Our, fuel was down. How about just take the what do they call when they keep extra fuel for the military? The
Reserves.
The reserves.
Strategic reserves.
Biden drained them.
Drained.
Trump filled them to the top. And who did Biden sell them to? China.
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 And the sad part is that you see people like Megyn Kelly coming over.
Not being bought to come over.
No, she came over on her own because she did not like Trump. I mean, she sat in that one debate, and she hammered him, saying, "You call women pigs and whatever." And he goes, "Only Rosie O'Donnell." And you guys all remember that. That was Megyn Kelly with short hair.
Yep.
And she did not like him at all. But then she saw after 4 years of him, and then after 4 years of Biden here, she saw how well of a job how good of a job he did, and he came over. And now she's talking at his rally. And
never thought I'd see that.
Me neither, of all the people. And Tulsi Gabbard and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I mean,
never.
These are big name Democrats who came over.
And these aren't just celebrities who hopped up for a little glory and I want you to change your mind because I'm who I am. No, these are people that sat back and went, okay, there's something wrong over here. We got to get it right again. And this is the only opportunity we're going to get. And I'll tell you something right now. You get 4 more years of Harris, that country is done. And you might as well fold up the pages on Canada too.
It's going to be ugly. It's going to be an ugly 4 years if she gets in. And then you got, some other things that happen. Obama mouthing off, telling black males they have to vote. And she's lost more black male voters than anything. She just cannot connect with them. And Obama telling them they have to vote for her, they're looking at him going, What are we, your slaves?
You've already stuck the abortion clinics trying to wipe us out in our own communities.
Well, they were mad when Obama started preaching to them because they're going, we're not your slaves. We're not slaves.
Yeah.
We don't have to do what you say because you're black. Like,
can you imagine voting for nothing else but color and gender? That's what I'm voting on. It's about time we had a black person. It's about time we had a woman. It's about time we had a transgender in there. It's about time we had somebody who could do the job and take care of business. Period. Doesn't matter color or gender. Who can do, if it's a dog, put him in.
Most qualified.
Yeah.
And Michelle mouthing off about the women.
Oh God.
Her going on.
But you know what she did bring up a good point. She was taught a long time ago. Never live or have more than you need.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a $15 million mansion on the beach.
3 of them.
Yeah. I think she's suffering from male pattern baldness, by the way. Agenda 2025, another big thing that they pushed and pushed. They finally stopped with it because they truly did find out that Trump had nothing to do with it. And he's been saying it all along. I don't even know what it is.
But they lied and they lied and they lied. And it was the biggest part of her speech and campaign. She said it how many times during the debate? It is a blatant lie. And you know what? She should have actually been sued for that.
Yeah, because he had nothing to do with it. Now, granted, J.D. Vance did write the prologue to it. But you got to remember, J.D. Vance didn't like Trump neither until he saw him be president. And then
that alone should tell you that Trump wasn't involved.
Yeah.
But there's J.D. Vance, another guy who said, you know what? I did my homework. I did the research. I've started to. Here's the key. Here's the key. Think of, I'm going to say it. He was thinking.
Yeah.
He did some thinking.
He's awake.
Yeah. He wasn't spoon-fed. He did some thinking.
He's awake. Yeah. And that's the important thing, So when you look at all these guys who've come over, all the power that's come over, who are they?
I don't know. He was dressed like Trump. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I just realized my poppy fell off.
You know what? I've lost 10 poppies. I don't know how many I bought. Every time Liz goes, I said, pick up a half a dozen.
Yeah, I've got 4 in my truck stuck there for that, but it must have got blown off.
See, what I've done is I've taped mine on here on the thing, so don't fall off because I want to wear it.
I am proud, and that's something we should talk about too, is wear the poppy.
Wear the poppy. Buy a poppy, wear a poppy.
Yeah, I'm all about that. I'm sad I don't have mine on. I just noticed that,
Well, I came in the other day and I had one on, and then I looked and it was gone. I felt bad because I wear a poppy, on everything.
I will always wear a poppy.
Yes.
I had family members who served, and I appreciate anybody that will go out there and do what they do for our freedom, for our freedoms.
The least you can do is wear a poppy.
Yeah.
Donald Cherry.
Yeah, the least, yeah.
And
look what happened to him.
So looking at today, the White House is being surrounded by fencing, and they're expecting that if Trump wins, there's going to be some big riots in that from the left-wing Antifa BLM crowd.
They're not like that. Only the Republicans They're
boarding up downtown areas in all major towns. They've had extraction exercises in Washington from White House and the Capitol building because they're expecting that if Trump wins, there's going to be big trouble in every big city in the United States. And
Republicans are the only insurrectionists. That's all. I can't believe this.
And they're not saying if things go south. They say when they go south because they're anticipating a Trump win.
Look what they did with George Floyd. Come on. And look what's come of that. Didn't Tampon Tim and his wife love the smell of burning rubber?
Oh, yeah. They love the smell of burning, like a riot, burning rubber in buildings. They love that. And they let it go until the next day and then called in the National Guard and stuff. They're whacked. They're sick people. But they're getting ready for all this. And this BLM Antifa, they burned Portland, they burned Seattle, they burned down Minnesota. So they're not beyond starting this. I mean,
buildings, police buildings, total disregard and disrespect for law and order.
And they're planning to have to declare martial law to deal with it. So they've moved National Guard they're on standby in many states already. So when the results of this are found, it could get ugly in some of these cities. So if you live in any of these cities, get ready, be on the lookout, man, because anything can happen, and especially if Trump wins. If Kamala wins, nothing's going to happen.
There's zero's going to happen. Other than Liz Cheney's going to become Secretary of State.
Yeah, and to end the show, right? To end the show today, here's what
we have to.
My final comments are. I mean, this is it. So if Trump loses, I don't want to hear any whining or crying from myself or anybody else about cheating in that. He had the opportunity. He knew what happened last time in 2020. He should have been ready for it. If he loses by anything, he's got to just walk away and say, I gave it a great try, and just get out of politics. That's it. I mean, the time has come for the country to be more important than Trump or Harris or anybody. And I encourage everybody to get out and vote. And I won't accept anything from Harris or Trump except civility and a calm transfer of power.
He did that
to the person who won.
It was a transfer of power.
But he had a calm transfer of power. There was nobody had to pull him out. The military didn't have to pull him out of the White House for Biden to get in.
No.
You know, the January 6th thing was a bunch of baloney, but there was a calm transfer of power, and I expect the same thing this time. But I really, really don't want to hear Trump.
But there are shenanigans happening.
There are.
There are. I mean, boxes of ballots have been burnt, and this is how CNN and company handle that now. That was just a fake video from Russia.
Yeah, well, there's also irregularities found in Pennsylvania, and ballot drop boxes being set on fire. And but Trump does have people in all big cities, and he has people scrutineers and lawyers on call to deal with irregularities. But
the only way he can lose is if they cheat. But I don't really care anymore. You get what you ask for. You get what you permit. What you permit, you promote. And you know what? Trump will just go off into the sunset,
right?
Have a great life, and go, yeah, I tried. Now it's yours.
Yep, and one of the greatest presidents of all time. Yep. So, I mean, he's got to just not be crying and whining. I don't want to see that from him. I want him to walk away, and regardless, and if they cheat again, if they do cheat and win, if that's what everybody thinks, then it's his fault because he knew they're like that and they're going to do it, and he did nothing to stop it. But he's doing things to stop it, and I don't think he's going to lose. As a matter of fact, I think it's going to be a landslide. My over and under, I said, is 305 electoral college votes. Right?
That high? 305?
305. And I think it's going to be even higher than that.
Yeah. You know what? You look at the crowds, you look at the rallies, you look at the support, you look at all the unions, you look at the police, you look at the military, you look at it all and the support he has. And then she's being booed at rallies, booed, laughed at, walking out. Everything they accuse Trump of is happening to them. So I quite frankly, you're right. If they lose, it's because they didn't have enough people in position to watch these people. They are sneaky. You know, and now saying that that's more Russian disinformation.
Yeah,
sending videos of ballot boxes being burned.
But here's what I think people aren't taking into account. Number one, social media. The people are moving away from the MSN, mainstream media, all of it, and going over to guys like Joe Rogan and these podcasts. 75 million people watch that video of Trump, that podcast of Trump and Rogan. He's replacing these shows that used to be the big ones, Meet the Press and 60 Minutes. They're not taking that into account. They're also not taking into account people who are shamed into voting, saying they're voting for Kamala, but they won't. Once they get in the ballot box, they know what's right. They know who the country's going to be better under, and they're going to give Trump their vote, even though they won't tell their friends because their friends are going to go crazy.
The Bidens are probably voting for Trump.
I wouldn't doubt if Bidens are voting for Trump. And I wouldn't doubt if Shapiro and Whitmer and Newsom or Newcomb or whatever his name is, Newscomb, is he's voting for Trump because those guys got screwed by the Democratic Party. They should have been able to run against Kamala and best man win or women win, and they weren't. She was appointed. They do not want her in there because you know what? They're still looking at 2028, and they got to go to 2020. If she wins, they will never run in 2028 because she'll be the incumbent.
I know. Can you imagine?
So
game over. Set point. I called a joke.
So for her to get out of there right now would be good for Shapiro, who should have been her vice president choice, and Newscomb or whatever his name is,
Newscomber,
and I think he was the guy in the bed there. The commercial was about, and
or he might have been under the,
and a lot of other Democrats and a lot of other people who won't say they're going to vote for Trump because they get clobbered by their Democratic friends. And I think the other thing that everybody has to take into account is the advanced polls. There's more Republicans than Democrats that have turned out, and that's bad.
Yes, ever before,
and that's bad because the Democrats are the ones who pre-vote, and the Republicans go on voting day. That's been the norm. Now they've exceeded the number of Democrats, and that bodes very bad for the Democrats.
I think what you have to look at if you're a voter and you haven't voted, and if anybody's listening to us, think about your family. Think about your family life. Think about your home, your friends, what life's been like. You want your children protected. You don't want them going to school and being taught sexual stuff from anybody. You want them to be taught reading, writing, arithmetic, science, and history. That's it. Nothing more. So you have to look at that. No matter what they're trying to push into your brains, it's not right. Mutilation of kids under 18 is absolutely what it is. It's mutilation. It's mind manipulation. You've got to let them know who they are. And if they want to make that decision on their own, hey, knock yourself out. You've got that right to do that. You've got the right to have any sexual orientation that you like. You can decide what gender you want in your mind. But understand that if you don't stay with something that makes absolute common sense and is moral, then you're not going in the right direction. And you can't go through pretending what they tell you is true and still vote for them. You know, the things that we've been told are true, that, you know, men can have babies. They can't. Okay. And where's that coming from? It's coming from the left.
It's coming from the left.
Right. You know, it's so they're lying to you. They're trying to get you angry. They're trying to get women angry by saying that you're going to lose all your rights. I mean, have you heard some of these young people who said, if Trump gets in, I've lost all my rights? Oh my God, it's a pure lie. I will tell you that I know 3 people who worked for Trump, 4 people that worked for Trump. They said he was, and 3 of them were women. 4 of them were women, actually. I know 2 other Secret Service guys. They had nothing but respect for that man.
So, of course.
And said that he treated us like gold. If we worked hard, we got bonuses. We were never treated as a man or a woman. We were treated as a person that could do the job. And if we screwed up, he'd eat us one.
And on that note, I'm just going to say to everybody, get out and vote. The most important thing is to get out and vote. I don't care who you vote for, but get out and vote. It's so important. I'd say that to people around here in Niagara Falls. Get out and vote. I mean, your voice counts, especially when it could come to a close election. Get out and vote and get your voice heard. This is your time to voice your opinion, and that's at the ballot box. And on that note, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
we got to go watch what's going on.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
I'm so excited. I mean, Habs play tonight. And I don't think I can even watch the game. I got to watch this election. It's more important.
Any sport tonight doesn't matter.
Now, this is more important. My name is Paul K. Lemire. Hey, support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop and Victoria Avenue Pete's Pizza. We thank you for tuning in. I'm here with my good buddy, Pete Dichter. We just gave us our thoughts on the election, and we hope you agree or disagree. But if not, give us a thumbs down. Give us some comments saying you disagree. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Don't like the video. Comment on the video.
Think. Have a decision. Make a decision for yourself.
We will see you tomorrow at noon with Habsolutely. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. This is Your City, Your Voice coming to you from the studios of 4680Q Radio.
God bless.
Ciao, ciao. Have a wonderful day.